Hello everyone, welcome back to Globally Curious. I'm in Bangkok, Thailand, but the video this episode is not about temples, shopping places, or food in Thailand. We're going to the Museum of Death, Siriraj Museum. It's easy to get there. I chose to get the ferry from Saturn Pier and get off at Wang Lang Pier, also known as Pranok Pier. It's hard to miss as we can see Siriraj Hospital and University directly from the ferry. Siriraj Medical Museum isn't for everyone. It attracts a very specific kind of curiosity, people who want to understand life, medicine, and mortality beyond the surface. Thanks for watching and subscribing, and if you haven't, please subscribe to this channel. Siriraj Museum is part of Siriraj Hospital, Bangkok's oldest modern hospital. It is made up of several distinct collections and museums under one umbrella. If we want to visit all the museums, currently the ticket price is 300 baht for foreigners. First, we visited Ellis Pathological Museum. It's named after Dr. Ellis, one of the early professors of pathology at Siriraj Hospital, and it focuses on the study of disease and abnormal human conditions through real preserved specimens. The collection began more than a century ago, used to train Thai medical students and doctors to identify diseases by direct observations. We can see types of old microscopes and the respirators, mimicking how treatment was given to children in the past. Then we enter section where fetuses and infants with congenital disorders. These are some of the museum's most memorable exhibits. Fetuses and newborns with rare or severe congenital deformities. It's not a horror display, even though some visitors may find it intense. It's primarily an educational and scientific exhibition showing how developmental disorders occur in utero. They are displayed respectfully in an organized rows by type of condition. Here we see a baby with serenomelia, a developmental abnormality of the lower body that occurs in early embryonic life, causing the fusion of the lower limbs and severe defects in internal organs. Legs are fused together, that is why it's called mermaid tail. These thoracopagus conjoined twins are one of the most common and most visually recognizable. These are twins whose bodies are fused together at the upper torso, usually facing each other and sharing vital internal organs. And this is anencephaly. It is a severe congenital disorder in which a baby is born without parts of the brain and skull because the neural tube, the structure that forms the brain and spinal cord, fails to close properly during early development in the womb. It's one of the most tragic but also scientifically important, and harlequin ichthyosis. And I'm sorry if I pronounce these medical terms incorrectly. This is a rare genetic skin disorder where a baby is born with massive thickened keratin layers of skin, forming large diamond-shaped, harlequin-like plates separated by deep fissures. This is Dicephalus diprachius dipus is another rare form of conjoined twinning, a pair of conjoined twins with two heads, one torso, two arms, and two legs. The conjoined twins are all forms of monozygotic twins. They come from one fertilized egg that did not fully split. We can also see the development of an egg from early stages until it forms a baby. And this is the detailed explanation of anencephaly. The forebrain, the part that controls thinking and coordination, and cerebrum, responsible for consciousness and cognition, are missing. The remaining parts of the brain are often exposed, not covered by bone or skin. It happens very early in pregnancy, around day 23 to 26 after conception. Occurs in about 1 in every 1,000 pregnancies worldwide, though many end in miscarriage. Next, we enter this part where we can see real lungs blackened by smoking, livers scarred by cirrhosis, and hearts damaged by chronic condition. We start with the blood circulation and continue with the disease. Valvular heart diseases, or VHD, are conditions that affect one or more of the four valves in the heart, disrupting the normal flow of blood through the heart chambers and major arteries. Next, we go to the Parasitology Museum. It collects the various parasites and poisonous animals useful in medical field and exhibits the infected patient's organs. Here we start with the display of the environment of different types of poisonous parasites or animals such as worms that are found in food. Real liver fluke specimens are displayed to teach about tropical parasitic infections common in Southeast Asia. A liver fluke is flatworm parasite that lives inside the bile ducts and liver of humans or animals. It's part of a group of parasites called flukes, leaf-shaped worms that infect various organs like the liver, lungs. It's common in tropical Asia, especially Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, and parts of Indonesia. It's mainly linked to eating raw or undercooked freshwater fish that contain fluke larvae. Thailand has one of the highest rates of bile duct cancer in the world. That is why it is so important to always cook freshwater fish thoroughly. Avoid raw fish dishes in endemic areas and control snails and sanitation to break the infection cycle. Here we can see also blood flukes. There are pictures of how worms are out from the anus, and the real worms are also displayed here. Blood flukes are parasitic flatworms that live in human blood vessels, unlike liver flukes that live in the bile ducts. The worms themselves don't cause much damage, but their eggs trigger the immune system and create granulomas, or small nodules of inflammations in tissues and organs. Then we see one of the most visually striking pathology specimens here, the giant scrotum, or enlarged genitalia exhibit. It's not displayed for shock value but as an important medical example of a tropical disease called elephantiasis, caused by parasitic infection of the lymphatic system. This disease is caused by tiny thread-like worms that live in the lymphatic vessels, which are part of the body system for draining fluid and fighting infection. The disease started from a mosquito carrying microscopic larva bites a person, and this is his infected scrotum displayed here. The scrotal tissue appears huge, thick, and leathery and weigh over 30 to 40 kilo in size. This museum also shows many infected organs such as kidneys, intestines, stomachs, and brains, showing how cancer, infections, or trauma deform organs. Each specimen is stored in clear glass jars with preservative fluid or formalin. And this is the smoker lungs blackened by smoking. Also, liver scarred by cirrhosis. Cirrhosis is a late stage liver disease where healthy liver tissue is replaced by scar tissue, fibrosis. This scarring blocks the normal flow of blood through the liver and gradually impairs its ability to function. And this is an example of a chronic fungal infection found in tropical climates, caused by fungi entering through small wounds in the skin. Bubble skin represents fungal granulomas, clusters of immune cells responding to long term fungal infection. Today, it's completely curable with WHO's multi drug therapy or MDT. This is shown to actually teach if infections are left untreated, often due to poverty, stigma, or lack of access to health care. A curable disease can permanently deform the human body. We're moving to Songkran Niyomsane Forensic Medicine Museum. The museum is named after Dr. Songkran Niyomsane, a pioneering Thai forensic pathologist often referred to as the father of forensic medicine in Thailand. He helped establish modern forensic autopsy procedures in Thailand. The exhibits cover real criminal cases, accident reconstructions, and forensic pathology examples, many from Thailand's mid 20th century history. Here we see autopsy and forensic pathology displays, real human skulls, organs, and bodies showing gunshot wounds, injuries, blunt force trauma, drownings, burns, and poisonings. Also, examples of bullet trajectories, bone fractures, and wound reconstructions. Photographs, bones, and case studies from road accidents, murders, and mass disasters. There are many charts and photos explaining the trauma, autopsy procedures, and tools used. And these are the examples of bullet trajectories that I mentioned before hitting the skull. Also, there are still many dead fetuses shown here. Visitors give some offerings to this baby as a show of respect. One of the most infamous past displays was the preserved body of Sioi Sai Ung, a convicted murderer executed in 1959, who became part of Thai crime folklore as a so-called cannibal. His mummified body was displayed upright in a glass case for decades. In 2020, after ethical debates and pressure from human rights groups, his remains were cremated and his story reframed as a lesson in justice and human dignity. What gave me goosebumps here that they also displayed the real tools used by suicidal victims to kill themselves, such as bullets, ropes, knives, or other sharp materials. Back to Siui, between the 1940s and 1950s, Thai newspapers reported a series of child murders, usually between ages 5 to 10. Sioi cutting open their bodies after death, removing and cooking internal organs, allegedly to eat for strength. Next, the tsunami section on December 26, 2004. Thousands of bodies were recovered, many unidentified. This is one of the unidentified one, the lady with the tattooed arm. It also shows charts and infographics explaining the process of body identification, how DNA, dental records, and fingerprints were used, how international forensic collaboration worked, also actual equipment used in field operations, DNA kits, forensic suits, tags, and collection forms. I found this section quiet, sobering, and deeply moving and gave me lots of goosebumps. Now we're moving to Congdon Anatomical Museum. It focuses on human anatomy and dissection, teaching medical students, health professionals, and visitors how every part of the human body works together. The museum is named after Professor Edgar Davidson Congdon, an American physician and anatomist who came to Thailand in the early 20th century to teach anatomy at Siriraj Hospital. This museum is known for its beautifully preserved, detailed human dissections created by medical experts and students over decades. This museum houses dozens of real human skeletons, each preserved and mounted for educational study. This is the giant skeleton on display, an example of an individual who suffered from gigantism. The height is exceeding 7 feet or over 210 centimeter. According to the records, the giant man died at around 26 years old. He was from a rural area in Thailand and reportedly donated or his family donated his body to science. There is also the dwarf skeletons, also display of skeletons showing rare bone diseases and deformities. All the skeletons are donated or ethically acquired medical specimens preserved for science and education. In Thai culture, body donation is seen as an act of merit, a selfless way to benefit future generations of healers and students. The museum includes skeletons of historically significant donors, including a highly respected medical pioneers. Some royal or noble individuals have donated their bodies or organs as a symbolic gesture of leadership and devotion to science and public education. These skeletons accompanied by their photographs. I read about some confusion online about the skeleton of a King Rama being on display, but this is not true. No Thai monarch's skeleton, such as King Rama 5, 6, 7, or 9, is displayed publicly in the museum. Then we see real human nerve system and how it works in our body. And again, babies with deformities, Siamese twins, conjoined twins. Probably they should dedicate a building for exhibition about fetuses and infants. We see here real human bodies, not models, meticulously preserved and dissected to reveal the inner structure of the human body in an extraordinary level of detail. Here are one male body and one female body. Each is carefully dissected to show muscles, blood vessels, and internal organs with perfect precision. They are over 90 years old yet still preserved beautifully. The individual identities are not publicly known. In the early days of medical education, body donors were typically unidentified individuals from hospitals or public morgues, prisoners or indigent patients who died without next of kin, or people who voluntarily donated with their bodies. Each cadaver, identified or not, is honored in annual memorial ceremonies held by Siriraj medical students. Siriraj Medical Museum, or often called Museum of Death, is important not just because of its shock value, but it serves also a deep educational, scientific, cultural, and historical purposes of Thailand and the world. People call it Museum of Death, but it's changing. In the past, they even displayed a real body, a real organ of the convicted killer, but after years of criticism about dignity and consent, the body was finally taken down and given proper rights. Now, the focus is more about medical education with real organs, real trauma cases, and real forensic evidence. So it's less horror, more responsibilities. We have been to all the open museums as part of the Siriraj Medical Museum, and lastly, we visit the Siriraj Bimuksthan Museum. It's the newest museum here, which houses in the renovated vintage architecture of the old Thonburi train station. It is one of the most beautiful and historically significant museums in Bangkok, combining medical history, railway heritage, and Thai royal legacy. Unlike the Ellis or Congdon museums, which show real organs and skeletons, Sirirat Bimuksthan tells the story of how Thai medicine, hospitals, and public health developed from royal vision to modern science. It tells the story of King Rama V's modernization of Thai healthcare. It displays portraits, letters, and documents related to the founding of Sirirat Hospital. It shows how the hospital was named after his son, Prince Sirirat Kakudaban, who tragically died of dysentery. One exhibition zone focuses specifically on Thai traditional medicine and herbal healing. It's designed to show how Thai people treated illness long before hospitals existed, using herbs, minerals, massage, and spiritual balance, and how this ancient wisdom still plays a role in modern healthcare. This area blends science, culture, and spirituality, reflecting Thailand's belief that the body, mind, and environment must stay in harmony for good health. It's full of shelves of glass jars and wooden boxes containing real dried herbs, roots, and medicinal plants used in Thai healing. Also, there are parts that showcase the display of the infected or diseased organ from various divisions of the hospital. And last but not least, we see the old shipwreck or ancient boat excavation displayed here, and one of the most unexpected and historically valuable exhibits in the entire Sirirat Museum complex. When Sirirat Hospital began expanding its campus in the early 2000s, they found the remains of an ancient wooden ship buried under layers of soil near the Chao Phraya River. And these layers of soil aren't just dirt, they are a time capsule that helps archaeologists, doctors, and historians understand how Bangkok's landscape evolved over hundreds of years. That's all from this episode. I feel this visit is all inspiring, seeing the human body in its real complexity, also spiritually moving, realizing these were real people who gave their bodies to science. It bridges science and humanity beautifully. What do you think?